So this image shows the external view of the new addition if you're walking over from the original Kahtoola building. When entering the new Kahtoola addition, you are placed below the floor level of the warehouse. You enter into the sounds of forklifts moving products and boxes being packaged and placed onto trucks. The moment you step into the building, you're immediately placed into an atmosphere of productivity. There are ramps as well as entrances on either side of the building that allow access to each level within. The warehouse space is elevated 4 feet from ground level and is approximately 2,300 square feet, and within it are 12 shelving units that stand 16 feet tall. Towards the westernmost end of the building is the loading dock, which allows for easy access for semi-trucks coming from the South River Run Road. The loading dock can hold 2 trucks simultaneously for either loading or unloading, and a 40-foot overhang makes the process easier without having to worry about collecting snow. Dividing the space next to the warehouse is a modular wall composed of multiple sliding panels. Each panel is made up of two 4 mm thick pane of glass with air in between the panes. This allows the wall to reduce noise from the warehouse area by about 25 decibels or about 80%. This wall can either be opened entirely so sound can pass easily throughout the building, or it could be completely closed. Next to the warehouse is the flex space, which holds 8 office desks that are able to be folded in order to extend or decrease their length. This change could allow for the creation of a large gathering table in the center of the space, or make it easier to stow away the desks if more space is needed for something like the warehouse or storage. Towards the eastern end of the flex space are the restrooms and storage area. They're placed on the ground floor at 0 feet in order to keep them from obstructing the linear view from the interior of the building. Continuing up the ramp, we arrive at the main office space. This consists of 4 groups of 4 intimate table groupings to allow for increased social interaction between employees. Placing the office at the top level also allows for a great view, both to the east towards the tree line, but also towards the west, where you can overlook every operation within the building. Within the office space is another modular wall system that, when opened, introduces the entire building to a natural atmosphere where one could step out and take a moment to admire. After turning around and stepping back inside from the patio, the view of the interior building becomes apparent. There are no obstructions, and a cross breeze could even form from the west side loading dock all the way to the east side office, 180 feet away. This open atmosphere, along with natural lighting, promotes interaction and overall increases work efficiency compared to being in a lonely, cluttered environment. This view shows the effect that the windows, skylights, and modular walls have on the space. They open everything up and make the interior seem much larger than it actually is. Moving to the exterior of the building, we have a picnic area. And when visiting Flagstaff in August, the weather was incredible. It's the temperature that invites you outside, and when invited, there needs to be something to do. So when people want to take a break for lunch, they have a perfect place to go and spend time. Now, there were 2 things that drove the design strategies in this building for me. And the reason the building is completely linear is that the space it sat on had very few trees, and that defined its shape. And the elevated level towards the east side allows for cars to pass underneath rather than taking up more space and destroying more of the landscape. The other factor that drove the design was the atmosphere of Flagstaff itself. It gave me a massive sense of freedom, like when I was a kid playing in the forest back in Georgia. And to restrict that feeling on the interior of a building with things like closed spaces doesn't at all suit the environment. And so those are the reasons for my design, and that concludes my ideas for Kahtoola. Thank you.